Okay, just huddle in here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, right in here. Yeah.
Tell me when you're all ready.
You're good. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, Dean.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here. I'm Troy Ott. I'm Dean of the College of Agricultural Sciences here at Penn State, and I'm pleased to welcome you this morning to the Dairy Research and Teaching Complex for the ceremonial signing of HB 2301, containing key funding in support of agriculture in Pennsylvania, including the Agricultural Innovation Grants Program, which is the focus of my comments here this morning. I'm particularly grateful for the leadership of Governor Shapiro, Secretary Redding, and Representative Takac and his colleagues who championed this program to support agricultural innovation that will ensure competitiveness, resiliency, environmental stewardship, and vitality for farms and agribusinesses in the Commonwealth. This program will provide reimbursement grants for implementation of innovations that increase production efficiency, encourage sustainable practices, utilize renewable energy, and sequester carbon. This is exciting for me from my perspective as Dean of the College of Agriculture and as a scientist, because it represents the tangible impact of research done at Penn State and other land-grant universities around the country. It is a legacy of a partnership between Penn State and Pennsylvanians more than 150 years old to discover and implement science-based solutions to improve agriculture. But something is different here this morning. I think we can all sense it, and certainly I know most of the group gathered here today know this. What has changed is the magnitude and pace of the challenges facing agriculture and the incredible speed and evolution of emerging technologies with endless capabilities, opportunities, and challenges. At Penn State, we have certainly been preparing for this for some time, and the college has been strategically investing in discovery and implementation of advanced and emerging technologies in agriculture for more than a decade. We have been investing in research by scientists who saw challenges facing our farms and farmers and asked, what if? Not what is, but what if? This is the value proposition of our land-grant university. This is enabled by a partnership between Penn State and our county, state, and federal funding partners who in support of citizens of the Commonwealth for a vibrant, profitable, and sustainable food and fiber system. As the Commonwealth's sole land grant for more than 150 years, Penn State has been discovering, refining, and implementing new technologies in agriculture. Many, if not all, of the innovations this grant program will support were the result of research at universities like Penn State. This morning we are standing at the Penn State Dairy Research and Teaching Complex where current and future innovations are being discovered, tested, and refined as we speak, some of which will be the next generation of innovations available to farms and agribusinesses in Pennsylvania. For example, to my right, 2 new feed bins are connected to a precision feeding system that is designed to provide custom diets to meet cows' nutritional needs, ensuring their health without wasting feed. Also to my right is an interseeder, a device developed and patented by Penn State scientists designed to increase the use of cover crops, reduce runoff, and preserve moisture in our soils. Behind the dairy is a new methane digester that will use manure from our dairy and swine operations to generate energy, to feed into the electrical grid and help scientists refine and use this technology. Research in the college led by animal scientist Dr. Alex Ristoff has played a key role in development of a first-in-its-class feed additive called Bovaer. Bovaer reduces methane emissions from dairy cattle by more than 30%. This product is approved for use in several countries and just received approval for use in the United States. And research is underway examining additional feed additives and their methane inhibiting potential. Last year, scientists in the college, led by Armin Kamanian, were the recipients of a $25 million USDA NIFA carrot grant that is implementing and testing the impact of science-based technologies to reduce the environmental impact of dairy farming in Pennsylvania. Technologies developed by the college's Jonathan Lynch have been commercialized by a company, Phosphollutions, led by college graduate Hunter Swisher, in the form of a phosphorus fertilizer product called Ribosorb that will more efficiently use the limited resource and reduce phosphorus levels in our rivers and streams. And in a minute, Dr. Christina Grosing will take will talk to you about the college's initiative in technology for agriculture and living systems that she leads. This new center is built upon decades of research, funded in part by state allocations through the Land Script Fund. For those of you that know me, you know that I could go on and on describing the myriad ways that Penn State is providing solutions to farmers in Pennsylvania, the nation, and around the globe. But what is most important to remember is that we would not be here talking about implementing new technologies were it not for state support received for agricultural research that enabled our scientists to ask, what if? Again, thank you, Governor Shapiro, for your leadership in support of agriculture and for placing agriculture at the heart of your economic development plan for Pennsylvania. It is certainly at the heart of what we do here at Penn State in the College of Agricultural Sciences. I would now like to welcome or invite Secretary Redding to the podium for comments. Secretary Redding.
Thank you, Dean.
Good. Dean, thank you. Dean, I thank you, and to the Penn State team, thank you for hosting. Thank you for the leadership of this university, both the college and the university. I think often about the journey of a land grant and where it began, and even at a time where I'm not sure Lincoln knew when he went to bed what he would have in the morning. Right? But Congress and the president came together to do something extraordinary for America, and that was create the land grant university system, and we are better for it. To see that here today, we hear it in the words of the dean, we see it on the landscape of Pennsylvania. So on behalf of all of the farmers and the ag community in Pennsylvania, Dean, thank you to you and your team for what you do. It is a good day to have both a dean and a governor around you, with you, visioning and helping to sort of bring to life all of these things that we have as expectations in the agricultural community, right? To have a working and functioning landscape, to have healthy animals and healthy people and clean water. That is what we have in the leadership of both the dean and the university, but also have in Governor Shapiro. And I have been impressed and humbled time and again for his appreciation for Pennsylvania and all of its complexities and needs, but also seeing the opportunities for Pennsylvania agriculture. In every discussion, it is about the future. It is about how do we build on the legacy industries of Pennsylvania at the same time, know that we are in a hyper-competitive market. Ultimately, we have to compete as a state and certainly as an industry, and that's what's in the core of the Innovation Fund. This budget is an extraordinary budget for agriculture. It has things that we've only dreamt of, right? We have a Western lab for the first time. We have continued funding for ag conservation funding in the clean streams. We have recovery funds in the event that we have high path AI. We have new food and food security support. But among that, we also now have, for the very first time, an agricultural innovation fund. And as the dean noted, we have done the research. We know what works, but we've never been able to take the next step to invest in the innovation. And you couple that with the economic development strategy of the governor, you look at where we are in terms of our productivity and the needs of the state and where we're leading, and the innovation fund becomes the answer. Yeah. It wants from us the need to express to our farms and farm community that we're there to support you, but we also know that we are tackling some of the most important issues of our time, and climate and food security and issues around productivity. So this innovation fund is designed to do that. We also have, for the first time, a director of innovation inside of our Conservation Commission, Mike Roth. It's the first of any state that has the fund, to have a commission, to have innovation fund. So we feel like we're in a really good spot to lead in many of these issues. So we are excited to have this new investment tool. We're excited to see all of the possibilities of innovation across the state, from our wood products to water quality and the climate and energy, food processing and production. But we also want to see this at the farm level. Ultimately, as noted here, it is about the competitive footing of our farms. And if they succeed, we succeed. That has been at the core of the governor's work to make sure that we're thinking about those on the front line who every day have committed themselves to production agriculture. We want to make sure that they succeed, and that's only possible by innovation. It's about investing. It's about working with the land-grant partners and the business community and many, many others. But ultimately, it is about our farms and the competitiveness of them and making sure that they succeed. That's the Innovation Fund. We have worked with the legislature, and I'm proud over the years to have the only state-level farm bill. But as we know, in the executive branch, you need a partnership. And that partnership is critical to our success. And we have Representative Takac, who's led on this bill. He was a champion of it, continues to think about how do we make sure that agriculture, not just in the innovation front, but also at large, competes in Pennsylvania. So thank you for the partnership, and Representative, welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Secretary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. Thank you, Secretary Redding, and thank you all for being here today. It's a pretty momentous day for Pennsylvania agriculture. I want to thank Governor Shapiro and Secretary Redding for making the trip here to Happy Valley, first and foremost. We may have some ice cream at some point. And especially to our hosts, Dean Ott and the really remarkable team here at the College of Agricultural Sciences as well. I'd also like to acknowledge a few other elected officials who are here. Our county commissioners, Mark Higgins and Amber Concepcion, are here. Thank you. And the mayor of State College, Ezra Naines, is here as well.
Thank you.
And I would really be remiss if I didn't do a special shout out to my district office team, many of whom are here today. They are the ones that have the difficult task of making me look good every day, from morning till night, and they do a wonderful job of it. So it's a real day of celebration for them as well. Agriculture is Pennsylvania's #1 industry. It generates over $132 billion every year. It supports 600,000 jobs and obviously countless families and communities across our entire Commonwealth. And as been mentioned, it's one of the 5 key pillars of Governor Shapiro's comprehensive economic development plan for our Commonwealth. Pennsylvania farmers and agribusinesses have a long history of embracing innovation and new technologies and best practices to not only increase their production and their efficiency, but to improve their environmental conservation and stewardship. Yet as we know, and as was mentioned, the pace of agricultural research, discovery, and innovation is rapidly accelerating. Here at Penn State, of course, but in businesses and at research institutions across the Commonwealth and around the world. Those innovations include everything from the use of drones and robots, remote sensors, to renewable energy capture and even AI, all of which can provide truly exceptional benefits. So it's vitally important that we help Pennsylvania farmers and companies take full advantage of these new technologies and these best practices. And that's why I was so excited to partner with Secretary Redding and his team at the Department of Agriculture and others to develop and to introduce House Bill 2310, which ultimately passed both the House and the Senate with strong bipartisan support, and which I am very proud to help present today to the governor for his signature. Among other things, House Bill 2310 establishes that Pennsylvania Innovation Fund, which will provide grants to farmers, food processors, cooperatives, and technical service providers to adopt innovative practices and technologies that will make them more efficient, profitable, and sustainable, while also benefiting the environment and our climate. It could also create new revenue streams for Pennsylvania farmers, increasing their economic resiliency and their sustainability. These are reimbursement grants that require matching funds, so a real partnership. They're available to both individual farms and businesses, as well as projects with a more regional impact as well. The funding allocation for this fiscal year is $10 million. But along with everyone else here, I expect and hope that that will continue to grow in the years to come now that the program has been established, and that the benefits and the return on that investment become even more evident in the years to come. The program will be administered by the Department of Agriculture in consultation with the State Conservation Commission, and the final determination will be made by an independent board. As I close, I must admit today is a pretty special day for me personally. This is my first legislation to be signed into law, and I'm proud and grateful that it's something that will have such a significant positive impact on farmers, families, and our communities across this great Commonwealth. So I'd like to take a moment to thank Secretary Redding and his team for your support and patience through the legislative process, let's just say. Felt like Easter at times. To my friends and colleagues here at Penn State and the College of Agricultural Sciences, your continued partnership means so much to me. I'm a little more than a mile from my house, and this is one of my favorite places to come, especially on a beautiful day like today. And I want to especially thank Governor Shapiro for his outstanding leadership and advocacy on behalf of Pennsylvania agriculture. So with that, I would like to now hand it off to Dr. Christina Grosinger, Professor of Entomology and the Director of the Technology for Agriculture and Living Systems Center here at Penn State. Thank you.
Good job, Brett.
So as we all know, farmers are the backbone of this nation, but farming is incredibly difficult. Advances in technology, including robotics and artificial intelligence, can help make farming easier, more productive and profitable, and more sustainable. AgTech is a field that advances very quickly, as Dean Ott described earlier, and our College of Ag Sciences has been at the forefront of this field. However, AgTech is also a field that requires a lot of integration and collaboration across disciplines. In order to bring together expertise from across Penn State, we've created a new center, the Technology for Agriculture and Living Systems Center. This new center brings together faculty and students and extension educators who have expertise in developing and using tech for crop production, natural resource conservation, habitat and water quality monitoring, and also for developing innovations that help our rural and urban communities, such as the National Broadband Navigator tool. A key goal of our center is to partner with farmers and other stakeholders to co-develop our research projects. What this means is that farmers will be involved in these projects from the very beginning, so we know that the work that we are doing will directly benefit them. Pennsylvania has one of the most diverse farming systems in the nation, and so this provides many opportunities for research and for innovation. That is why we're very excited about the Agriculture Innovation Fund. It will drive the growth of small businesses that will take our research and turn it into tools that farmers can use. And it will also create a community of farmers that know how technology can be used on their farms and who we can work with later as we start developing new research projects and new innovations. So thank you, Representative Takac and Governor Shapiro, for leading the creation of the Agriculture Innovation Fund and for creating this incredible opportunity to bring together farmers, businesses, and researchers to create innovations that can make food more accessible and more affordable for all of us. And with that, I will transfer this over to Governor Shapiro.
Thanks, Professor. Thank you. Thank you, Professor. You are doing great work here at Penn State. I think the only thing we need to do is get you an acronym for the name of your department or a much bigger business card to walk around with. But the work you are doing here at Penn State is absolutely critical. And it is an example not just to the rest of the Commonwealth, but to the rest of the country. And I couldn't be more proud of the strong relationship we have with Penn State and the way you are setting a course forward for all of us. I want you to know Penn State has a special place in my heart. I brag on you guys all the time. And I want you to know last night, my wife and I, as we are known to do regularly when we are at our family home, we ended our day with a walk around the Geese Pond at Penn State Abington. And I told my wife, Lori, our First Lady, I was going to begin my day with the cows here in Happy Valley. And so ag plays is, I don't know if you consider geese part of the sort of ag, innovation. But anyway, we love our time at Penn State, and we love what Penn State is doing every day. And I want to thank Neely for her leadership and Mike Steffen for being with us today. y'all are great partners in our progress here in Pennsylvania, and really Penn State plays a central role in so many different areas of our economy, of our lifestyle, of our, the fun that we have every day. I was bragging to my kids the other day about the beautiful field at Williamsport where we had the Little League World Series. Penn State has a hand in making sure that field is ready for those players, and we're able to show off the incredible work that Penn State is able to do in every different corner of our economy and our Commonwealth. So thank you to Penn State for all that you do. I am blessed not just to visit here at Penn State, but travel all across Pennsylvania nearly every single day. And whether you're in a rural, urban, suburban community, the terrain looks pretty different. But the truth is, folks basically want the same four things, no matter where I go. They want really good schools for their kids and grandkids and educational opportunity. They want safe communities to live in. They want economic opportunity in the zip codes where they live. They don't want to have to leave to go find opportunity elsewhere. And they want their freedoms and their rights protected. When I think about Penn State, when I think about the work that we do, when I think about the budget that we passed, when I think about the work that Representative Takac has done and will continue to do, I think a lot about economic opportunity running through the farmlands of Pennsylvania and the kind of cutting edge research that happens right here at Penn State when it comes to agriculture. That's one of the reasons why when we developed for the first time in nearly 2 decades, the Dean alluded to this earlier, when we developed for the first time in nearly 2 decades an economic development strategy for Pennsylvania, because quite frankly, we had been falling behind. We hadn't been aggressive enough when it comes to competing with other states and other nations. I knew that one of the key pillars of our economic success and economic opportunity had to run right through our farmlands and be specifically centered around agriculture. And so we've built up a real focus in the Department of Agriculture and our Department of Community and Economic Development, working with our partners, our elected officials at the local level and the federal level. We've really developed a focus on ag and making sure that the work that our farmers are doing, the university research that is being done in places like Penn State, play a central role in creating more opportunity across Pennsylvania. That's why we're proud to be the only state with our state-only farm bill. It's why we're there for our farmers in times of need with a special high-path avian influenza fund to get our poultry farmers back up on their feet if they are hit with avian flu. And the research that's being done here at places like Penn State really helps us with that effort. It's why we're investing more in our centers of excellence across Pennsylvania, and why we fought so hard together with Representative Takac to create the first ever Ag Innovation Fund centered here in Pennsylvania. And we are the first state in the nation with a dedicated fund just like this. Because here's the thing, when I think about innovation, I don't only think about the life sciences centers in Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, or the sprawling suburban office parks where innovation is occurring. I think about farms and centers like this in rural communities all across Pennsylvania. The reason I'm saying this is innovation plays just as important of a role in our skyscrapers as it does in our farmlands. And we need to treat both areas with the same level of respect and investment, and we are doing that now in Pennsylvania thanks to Representative Takac's bill and the work that's being done in the Department of Agriculture. Look, this is not new to our work. We've been focused for a long time on alternative fuel tractors and methane digesters, or the kind of robotic milkers that you have here. That work has been going on, but it hasn't been adequately supported at the state level until now, until we are now able to put a dedicated funding source in place. I want you to know that those $10 million, the $10 million in grant funding, will begin going out into our communities, into our farmlands, into research centers like this over the course, beginning in 2 weeks. The application period will open and these dollars will be driven out. I know sometimes government can move slow, but y'all know we focus our efforts around 3 letters, GSD. We focus on getting stuff done here in Pennsylvania. And part of getting stuff done is moving quickly and getting it out there and moving at the speed of our farmers and our businesses. And so we're really proud of the fact that that $10 million isn't just conceptual, isn't just something down the road, but is something that we're going to get out into our farmland beginning later this month. Listen, the last thing I want to say is this. We are all blessed to live in Pennsylvania. One of the interesting things about government in Pennsylvania is we are the only state in the entire nation with a divided legislature. So think about that. For us to pass any bills into law, you need Democratic votes and you need Republican votes. It needs to find bipartisan consensus. And when we move the ball down the field, when we get something done, it's important that we come together and we celebrate that. We celebrate that bipartisan achievement. We celebrate the fact that Democrats and Republicans alike believe in agriculture and believe in the promise of what happens in great research institutions like Penn State and through the work of our farmers. And it's also important that we celebrate the hard work necessary to build that consensus. Look, I'm not going to be political, especially here on this campus, but I don't think I'm going on a limb saying that we live in some polarized times. And particularly with an election coming up, it's hard to find consensus between Democrats and Republicans. Yet you have a representative in Representative Takac that did the hard work necessary behind the scenes to build that consensus, to say that we're going to prioritize ag, to say that, you know what, we can bring people who have different opinions on different issues together around common purpose here. That's a big deal, and this community should celebrate that. And so I wanted to be here on Penn State's campus today to celebrate you and the great work you're doing, to make sure that we lift up the kind of innovative work that's being done here as a model for not just the rest of the Commonwealth, but the rest of the country. And to celebrate a great state representative who's doing the hard work to bring people together to help our farmers and to help our ag sectors. Today's a great day to celebrate. In 2 weeks, we're going to begin driving those dollars out, and we're going to help make sure that our economic progress here in Pennsylvania continues to run through our heartland, continues to run through our farmland. So thank you for welcoming me back. Now I'm going to sign this bill here, sponsored by Representative Takac, into law, and then I'll be happy to come up and take some questions from the media. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
Feel free to get over here on the right.
Yep. Professor, why don't you join me here on my left? What a beautiful day.
Oh my gosh. Every day is beautiful.
Every day is happy.
Come on in here. How you doing,
Commissioner? Everybody here?
Yeah, we're
All right.
We're all here.
Let's do it.
That looks really nice.
Look at that.
I like the look of that.
They spelled your name right.
It's only 5 letters. You'd be surprised. 4 letters, actually.
Rep, that's for you. Congratulations.
So much.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Professor, that's for you. Don't sign too many things with that.
Yeah, exactly.
There we
This is
go.
a nice pen.
All right.
Remember your first, they say, right?
This is for you, your first bill. There'll be many more.
All right, thank you.
Make sure Stefan sees what I wrote.
I'm going
okay?
to, yeah.
Why don't we all come up here and take some questions?
All right.
Nice. Well done. Good to see you. Thank you.
Everything good?
Good.
All right. Hey, Commissioner.
Of
course.
recognizing really fantastic representatives.
Of course.
Congratulations.
Here, come on. We can all stand up here together.
Congratulations.
I know there's many members of the media here, but let me start if anybody in the student newspaper is here, wants to ask anything. Yes?
Hello, my name is Annalise Hansen, and I'm here on behalf of the Daily Collegian.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask, what are the key goals behind the investment for the state laboratory in Pennsylvania, and how will this help combat issues like the avian influenza and other agricultural diseases.
Sure. Let me share some thoughts. I want to invite the Secretary to share some as well. Look, we understand that research, particularly high-power research that's supported by institutions like Penn State, allow us to answer questions that's going to help our farmers be more efficient, protect our flocks, protect our animals, protect our herds, protect what is happening on our farmlands, and give us the tools that we need in order to make wise and wiser investments going forward. And so we view that relationship between the Commonwealth and the work that happens in those labs as being really, really critical to the success, the vitality, and the protection of our farms and our farmers and our farmlands across Pennsylvania. Mr. Secretary, anything you want to add?
Governor, I would just add a couple of things. One is we're blessed to have an Animal Health Diagnostic Commission that came out of the 1983 and 84 very bad experience with high-path AI. And the legislature, again, to their credit, said we've got to do a different management model, if you will, both an oversight of the animal health issues of Pennsylvania. That was the commission. And with that, the creation of a laboratory system that links our land-grant university at Penn State with the Department of Agriculture and our veterinary medical school at New Bolton Center. That's 3, but they're all on the middle to eastern part of Pennsylvania. What the governor and I have heard over and again many times is that animal agriculture is everywhere. It looks different, but if we want to develop all of the potential for Pennsylvania, we also need to recognize the services that it needs. And one of those is making sure that we have access to the animal health diagnostic services in the western part of the state. So that is our goal, to have a lab in west of I-99 that services animal agriculture, addresses the issues of biosecurity, addresses the issues of our chronic wasting disease, the geese that you saw in your pond walk. They are all part of the landscape of all creatures great and small, that the Department of Agriculture's got to sort of worry about to keep both the animals safe and poultry, but also humans safe as well. So the lab goals are to establish that, to have it function and work as we have here at Penn State with this lab, ADL, and give all of those farmers access to the same services. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? No? Okay. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Good, going well.
Good.
Thank you.